this is what we need. From what I understand, the answer was, then go get it done.
This is a big part of Dallas Stars history. Their previous owner, not their first, Norm Green, brought the team from the North Stars in Minnesota to Dallas. But then the next one, Tom Hicks, passed away on Saturday at the age of 79. And of course, he was the owner who was in charge of running this team when they won the Stanley Cup in 1999, which is still the pinnacle of this franchise's history. Now, of the last 10 years or so, this team has gone from administration, being going through bankruptcy, which is part of the end of the Hicks ownership legacy, but certainly doesn't diminish what he accomplished from the mid-90s until, 2011, 10 or 11, in that range. But I think it's important to mention that out of that, sort of the ashes of that, they have become, it's sort of like one of the model franchises in the league as far as being consistently in the contention. They haven't won a Stanley Cup since, but they've been hosting the draft, the Winter Classic, a Stadium Series. They went to Finland. They've been a team that wants to be a part of the big things in the NHL. But none of that happens with Tom Gaglardi and his current group now if it wasn't for what Tom Hicks and his group did, buying it from Norm Green and then ultimately winning a Stanley Cup. Well, there was a lot of tributes for Tom Hicks from his his life and, of course, his ownership of the Stars. We'll start with the Dallas Stars, who submitted this statement the other day. The entire Dallas Stars family mourns the loss of our former owner, Tom O. Hicks, who passed away on Saturday, age of 79. During his ownership of the club from 1995 through 2011, the team experienced unprecedented success and captured multiple division titles, 2 President's Trophies, and the 1999 Stanley Cup. He also played an instrumental role in the development and planning of the American Airlines Center, along with the grassroots growth of hockey through the creation of numerous Star Center facilities. Our franchise would not be in the position we are today without the ownership of Mr. Hicks. His legacy will be honored by our franchise for decades to come. And then they went on to talk about his business background with the city of Dallas and, of course, the sympathies to his surviving family, his wife, 6 children, and many grandchildren. Luds, when you hear that just from the Stars, I mean, I just thought it was really important to read today because we asked you briefly about it on Sunday. That's yesterday. It feels like it was 3 days ago. But that really, I thought, sort of encapsulates how important Tom Hicks was to this franchise.
Yeah, I think, and again, I don't want to leave out Norm Green's name in that because Norm had a lot to do with bringing the team to Dallas. But I think what happened is when Tom took the team over and then we got a little bit down the road, what he allowed management to do is set the standard for today's team, and by, again, it's easy to say that when you win a championship, but every year we had the ability, and I mean that by Bob Gainey and the general management and his group, he allowed them to make additions to the team. And what do we need to do? How do we need to get past this team? And what puts us over the hump? And when there was not a question mark, but a comment about this is what we need, from what I understand, the answer was, then go get it done.
Yep.
And it wasn't this, well, can we, go get it done?
No
Different
hesitation.
Yeah, none. I mean, we want to win and we want to be a champion.
And he did.
Yeah, now I'll tell you, you're reading that. I know you're going to read another one, but I want to read one that I forgot about this one. Okay. And it came, I'll tell you when it came. Cheers to a genuine man who cared about every one of us and provided a dream come true to do something so special together, incredible and forever in our hearts. Thank you, Tom and family. We will always remember you. Cheers forever to all and the cup, all the memories, good times we had together. Love you, Tom. This is how I feel. And so sad for losing a wonderful leader who brought all of us together. And I am celebrating our friendship tonight, just as we did when winning the cup. Love you all. And this is a group message that I had sent out. Love you all and your passion for the Stars hockey again. Cheers to Tom. And this was sent to me at 4:36 a.m. Would anybody care to guess who that might have come from?
Well,
Should we just leave it out there?
Boy,
I have no idea.
I have 2 guesses, but I have no frame of reference for it. So
again, 4:36 a.m.
I would think it's either, my guesses would be either Ed Belfour or Brett
Stop
Hull.
right there.
It was Bell.
Eddie. Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, and I know there's a time there, and so and especially when it says I'm celebrating his life right now. So, but I mean Eddie's and then you know what? This morning actually, Darian and Joe Newendike and Hatcher reached out to me. They wanted Tommy Jr. Wanted Tommy's number to reach out to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got something from Tommy too. But it was funny when I reached out to Tommy the other day. I think it'll be in whatever you're going to read here that we sent to you. But he was just talking about, we were sitting at the kitchen table yesterday, and we were going through all the games and the times, and Tom was talking to him. This is obviously before he passed away. He was talking about the good times, and this happened and that happened.
Well, you set us right up perfectly. So his son, he has 6 children, but Tom Jr., or you call him Tommy. I don't know if I met him or not. I've met Mac, who was the principal for the Hicks Sports Group that was running the AHL's Texas Stars when I worked for them. And he sent you a very long message about it, and we have that. So let's go to that. Here's Tom Hicks Jr. or Tommy. The entire family was sitting down together and talking about how special it was and how the Dallas Stars were an extended part of our family, especially that team. Talking about the 99 team. We went through specific games, goals, checks, and saves. Of course, nothing was better than winning the Cup in Buffalo, but there were so many other memories in the first, the second, and the third rounds. It was the definition of a team, all 4 lines, and our goalie stood on their heads to deliver Dallas, Texas, a Stanley Cup. But we also talked about how important the Dallas Stars fans were, and there is no better advantage than playing at Reunion Arena in front of the Dallas crowd. We also shared some laughs about the time that he had to escort a very drunk Red Wings fan out of Reunion who was harassing a Dallas Stars fan in the regular season that year. The cops were in shock. He took this guy up the aisle like a school kid. I can just picture him grabbing him by the ear.
By the pants.
Yeah. And Luds, this is still when Tom was still alive, sharing with it before he passed.
And I didn't see what happened, but I'm pretty sure there was probably a couple of security guards following Tom,
probably
carrying him up the steps. So he had him usually wherever he went.
Well, the NHL released a statement as well, which just shows the gravitas of the career and the impact of Tom Hicks with the NHL and with the Stars. Tom Hicks combined his innovative business acumen with his passions for sports and the city of Dallas to transform the Stars into one of the most successful franchises in the NHL and the catalyst for the explosive growth of hockey in Texas. In 1995-96, his second season as owner, the Stars began a remarkable stretch that saw them win 7 of the next 9 division titles, 2 Western Conference championships, and the Stanley Cup in 1999. Hicks was instrumental in the planning and development of American Airlines Center, and his philanthropy focused upon promoting education and helping the homeless in the Dallas area. The National Hockey League mourns his passing and sends our sincere condolences to his wife, Cinda, their 6 children and 11 grandchildren, and the entire Hicks family. Now, the Texas Rangers, who he owned as well as part of his sports group, tweeted out their condolences about his passing. And while I don't know if they left the English Premier League side, Liverpool FC, on the greatest of terms, they did post a story. They didn't tweet. Liverpool didn't tweet about it, but they did post an article on their website basically announcing his passing and that he was, part of the ownership group for the soccer team for the number of years that he did. They, like the Rangers and Stars, did have to deal with the financial fallout of the bankruptcy of the sports group, which, of course, especially for Liverpool, because they did not win the title under Hicks, that was, they didn't experience the Stars top of the mountain like the hockey team did. And so some of that fan base, I don't think, has the same fondness of memory. And of course, he's a Texan, right? This is his hometown, his home state, and it means a lot because of what he did in this area, whereas England is, a wholly different area. But massive condolences to Tom Hicks. And Luds, I'm glad you had a chance to share, because yesterday you eulogized him by talking about urinating in his shrubberies, which was pretty funny. But you also knew him personally, whereas I didn't, Sam didn't. And I just love hearing from somebody who knew him on that level.
Yeah, but it was funny because at the time, Tommy was just a young kid,
a
younger kid, you know what I mean? And so you didn't, and I didn't even know until a couple of years ago. Tommy had sent me a message and said, "Hey, let's get together and go golfing." I'm like, well, I'm not really a great golfer, but and if a Hicks calls you, then which I did, and I did talk to him, but I didn't realize he was in the National Republican Board or chairman of the Republican Party or something like that. And I'm like, you're what? And I'm like, because I remember when I'm saying, Tommy says to me, do you know what I do, lads? And I'm like, no, you probably don't have to do anything. I mean, because I was kind of joking because, again, I just remember him as a kid. He goes, no, I'm this. I'm like, oh, wow. And so, and I've never asked Tommy about it. And I'm still wondering why the hell did you want to go golfing? Because I know nothing about politics, like little shocker, but I don't know anything about it. But anyway, they're a great family. They treated all of us like they said, they treated us like family, and had times at their house and things like that, on the occasion. So and we had a good group of guys too, and it was just nice, guys like Newey and Hatcher and and Eddie and those kind of guys that are reaching out to send things to the family too, even though a long time ago, but they still remember how good it was and what they did for the rest of the group.
Sam, I intentionally leaned on Luds because of the personal connection, but you've been a fan since you were young, and I'm guessing your first year as a Dallas Stars fan was very much during the Hicks era.
Yeah. And everything, the cool part about coming into an organization that's been established for so long and has that history, and now obviously sitting next to a guy who was a big part of that, is learning all this stuff, stuff I didn't know. And hearing, I was just about to say before you said that it's cool to have those people reach out. That's part of that. I don't want to say cool because it's obviously a very sad moment, but part of the experience to hear, when something like this happens, to see how many people reach out, whether it's to you, to his family, or everything like that. And that's where you really see the impact these people have. And it's obviously just a massive one in this city and across the NHL and sports.
And I will say that when this team wins that championship, what has been committed to me?
A float.
Right? Yes, a float. I can pretty much promise you any of the Hicks family can be on that float, especially Tommy Jr. Tommy likes to have a good time too, so he kind of fit in with it.
I can't wait.
Well, he was a titan of business and industry, obviously, before he ever bought the Dallas Stars, but he leaves us with his name first engraved on the Stanley Cup for the '99 Dallas Stars.